Okay, let's try this again. Hiya, and welcome to Distant Travels. Hopefully this is going to go well. I'm using different settings. This is the 5th attempt at this. And I haven't even started playing the game yet. Definitely a good sign. Anyways, let's just hop right in. The game is currently in... Oh, wait, no. Let's just read that. Motherfucker. You have got to be fucking kidding me. Still experiencing issues. Let's try and fix this. Change the font to open dyslexic. And let's try this. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. A great quote, but you've never been religious as such. Why are you remembering this right now? Above all, love each other deeply, because love covers over a multitude of sins. Love, you're dreaming. It's a good one this time. I sow and water the seeds of love, just as I care for my feelings of you. As they blossom, I pray that we shall both reap the benefits of everlasting happiness. You don't recognize the quote, but the deep voice is comforting and relaxing. You close your eyes as you take in the pleasant yet masculine smell of the person embracing you. It's a soft embrace, full of care. There is nowhere else you would rather be right now. The next thing you notice is how warm you suddenly feel. Your cheeks are blushing, and just as you are about to open your eyes, you feel his soft lips against yours. His beard tickles your face, his warm body enveloping you like a blanket in the cold of winter. Time to wake up. You wake up suddenly. You fall from your bed. This is not the way you had imagined your day starting off. And the dream was just getting good. You gently rub your shoulder, feeling the pain starting to subside. Looking at your phone, there's still an hour until your alarm is supposed to ring. Still, somehow you feel rested enough to start your day. Must be a nice dream. Seeing as I'm already up, I might as well make some breakfast. You have some extra time this morning. Usually you just grab a power bar and be on your way. However, today you decide to go for something more filling. What should we go with? What's your drink of choice? Obviously tea. We have to. After filling breakfast with some incredibly well-made eggs, 3 slices of bacon, and a cup of tea, you clean up and get dressed for the day. The morning chill hits you as soon as you step out the door, and as you lock the door behind you, you notice it's still snowing. You figure the snowfall would have slowed down since yesterday. However, large snowflakes still fall slowly. It's almost entrancing, beautiful in its own way, softly creating an empty white blanket over the street, as if putting the world to rest. Looks like winter's here to stay. You pull your coat on just a little bit tighter, remembering the dream you had this morning. You almost regret getting out of bed as you start walking towards your office. The walk is long, but remembering how delayed all the buses usually are this time of year, I'm glad I got up early. The bright white feel of the snow is a relaxing contrast to the usual darkness of the fall season. Somehow, it reminds you of how lonely you have been feeling lately. However, rather than make you sad, the somberness of it all helps you focus on all the friends you have made these last few months. While they may not be the closest of friends, the acquaintances you have made treat you well. With all that has happened the last year, you've come to really appreciate them. The walk is pleasant, and with your headphones, you focus on the music. Before you know it, you arrive at your office. You step inside and brush the snow off your coat. As you arrive, you're greeted by the smell of freshly brewed coffee. Your boss is already there. She greets you as you walk through the door. Okay, I feel like I should, move my character. So I'm gonna, break a sin. So I'm gonna, commit a sin. There we go. A sin has been commit. Good morning. You take a seat at your desk, not too far from where Julia's desk is. The office you work is in a smaller branch of a large tech firm. You deal mostly with VIP and higher-paying customers. While the incoming volume of tickets might not be very high, they tend to be quite complicated. Some of the tasks are definitely above your pay grade, but the team is great. You've come to really appreciate your colleagues and the atmosphere of the group. Despite the problems that rise from the pressure of the complicated workload, you feel valued. Good morning, Julia. How are you doing? I'm great. How about you? Oh, did you check your email this morning? Not yet. Let me just get everything set up. Hang on. Let me, see if I can move that to the right. I don't think I can. You hook up your laptop to your workstation and get set to work on getting everything started. You've ran a number of diagnostics over the weekend. It seems that you have your morning cut out for you, deciphering the reports. You hear the door open and look over, just in time to see your colleague Ed walk in. He's one of the people from your office that you've gotten close to, likely due to the fact that you two work so closely together, as most of your other colleagues have other tasks to handle. I like him. Morning. Sorry I'm late. Traffic is all messed up with the snow. I swear this happens every year. Morning, Ed. How was your weekend? Hate to say it, but I pretty much slept through all of it. After the Leaves won the game on Friday, I went out to an after party. Hang on. After that, I didn't really make it out of bed until Sunday. Getting too old for partying already? Ed is younger than you by a few years. He just turned 22 a few weeks ago. Julie even made a cake for him. Good morning, Ed. Did you get a chance to check your email this morning? I did, while on the bus. You're talking about the super secret-ish recruitment email, right? Sharp as ever. Any idea who you'll recommend yet? The idea sounds interesting, but I'm not sure I'd be cut out for it. I have an idea who I could pick to represent Team Jules' rules. But for now, we'll just have to wait and see. Team Jules' rules? What did I miss? I feel like we should check our email. You decide to check your email messages to see what it's all about. You open up your inbox and start working your way through all the irrelevant information that inevitably ends up coming your way. With a large amount of messages you get every day, it's no wonder you didn't notice the one they were talking about. You do, however, eventually find the email. It seems to be a standard recruitment message for an internal operations position. However, it doesn't say what the job actually is. You've never seen anything like it. The deadline seems to be at the end of this week as well. Hey Julia, what's the actual job that the email is about? I can't tell you much, honestly. I haven't been given much information other than what's in the email. It's some kind of internal recruitment that all major tech companies have been asked to do. She has a look on her face that conveys deep thought. We're supposed to recommend one or two of our best for a super secret job. Supposedly it's something that will require a long absence and the pay is supposed to be really good. Her voice carries excitement at this point. I'm supposed to pick someone who's interested and send their resume with a recommendation to the government. What about it? Are you interested in representing Team Jules Rules? She smiles at you and seems excited at the prospect of being able to help her employees further their careers. I'll think about it and let you know by tomorrow. Thanks, Julia. You realize you haven't updated your resume in years. Last time was probably at your previous job, before Julia headhunted you to your current job. Before. It might be a good time to update my resume tonight. Who knows? This job opportunity might be interesting, if I get the chance to hear more about it. You finish sorting through the rest of your emails. It's mostly automated emails from company partners, planned maintenance on their equipment, or small outages during the weekend. Work quickly distracts you. Before long, you've finished more than a few phone calls and resolved most of your assigned tickets. As you finish backing up a database for one of your clients, your mind drifts. You stare out the window and rest your eyes for a bit. I wish I could have slept in today. First snow just made my bed feel so much warmer. In that dream, Ed's voice wakes you from your daydream. Want to grab lunch together? I didn't pack one today. Sounds good. Want to see if anyone else wants to tag along? You look over and notice that Julia is already gone. She's probably in a meeting or took an early lunch break. Julia already left. I see what Nick, Dave, and Sam are doing then. The two of you start making your way over to the part of the office where their team works. You let out a small yawn as you walk down the hallway with Ed. Waking up an hour early has your internal clock running a bit off time. You could definitely use some food, and maybe even some tea. Been up playing TFT all night? You let out a short chuckle. You know me too well, but no. Not this time. I had a slow weekend, working on my CCNA certifications. Woke up before my alarm. I thought you already had your certs. You definitely have all the skills already. Even though you know he's right, you can't help but feel that Ed definitely thinks too highly of you. Thanks for the compliment, Ed. I never ended up finishing the actual exams last year. You decide against opening up about how your ex had pushed you away from it, telling you it wasn't a good career path. Instead, you look on the other side of it all. In the words of your friend Nick, you had dodged a fucking bullet. The two of you make your way over to the side of your small office. Sam is sleeping in his chair in the corner, Dave is texting on his phone, and Nick seems fully absorbed by whatever is on his computer screen. None of them notice the two of you enter the room. Once you round Nick's desk, you notice that he's playing a game. That's just like Nick. Working hard or hardly working? The latest Team for Territory update launched already. I thought it wasn't until next week. Nick smiles but doesn't look away from his game when he greets you. Hi, wanna grab lunch together? We had the same idea. I was thinking of getting a burger from Boisterous Burgers down the street. But perhaps we could head to the buffet at Euphoria? I'll go wherever you guys decide. Then how about sushi at Wasabi? I'm fine with whatever you pick, so long as you decide on something this time. You remember last Friday, it took them well over half your lunch break to decide where to actually go. None of your suggestions would stick. They're definitely a bunch of picky eaters. Sushi or the buffet then? Works for me. Looks like they've left it for me to decide. Again, you can't help but smile as you look at your friends. They never change. Let's go to the buffet. Let's go to the buffet. I'm starving. Your stomach growls, timed perfectly as you finish your sentence. Nobody disagrees. You guys go on. I'll be having a late lunch with Ellie. Ellie is Sam's girlfriend. They've been together forever and she works nearby. As you're about to leave, you meet Julia in the hallway. I was looking for you. Your lunch break technically doesn't start for another 10 minutes. Julia has a fake frown on her face. It lasts for the entirety of 4 seconds before she bursts out laughing. Once she catches her breath, she points towards you, Ed, and Nick, each in order. You three, could you please fill out these forms and bring them back after lunch? She hands you each a form consisting of 3 pages. Thank you. By the way, where are you guys going for lunch? Full meal at Euphoria. The all-you-can-eat buffet is the goal. Sounds good. You guys have fun. Julia walks off towards the meeting room while checking through what you assume to be meeting notes on her phone. Remember to fill out the forms. Bye! Okay, it feels wrong having my avatar there, so I'm just gonna like... It feels wrong having him on the right side. Nick and Dave start discussing the latest TFT update as you walk towards the restaurant. You and Ed tail behind. I guess this means we now know who Julia is thinking of recommending. Are you going to do it? No, there's no way it'd be good enough. You should apply though. You and Nick both stand way better chances. Besides, you both deserve it more. I don't agree at all. Confidence is a weird thing. Ed should have tons of it, but he doesn't. I haven't really worked out the details, but I'll probably be starting school again next year. Your initial reaction is to disagree with Ed. He should apply, but you're happy he's heading back to school. He's one of the hardest working people you know. He's the opposite of lazy. He'll go far if he gets the chance. We should leave it. Ed seems set on his idea. Besides, he's never been one to pursue lofty goals. It's taken him long enough to decide on going back to school. You should apply. I can't think of someone who would fit better than you. I'm considering it, although I'd like to find out more about it first. You have the feeling that with all the smokes and mirrors around the entire thing, there's no way you'll find out more without actually applying. The two of you continue talking about work-related subjects as you make your way to the restaurant. The restaurant is bristling with people. You struggle to find a free table, but Dave manages to snag one for you as just another group is leaving. We've either made a great choice or a terrible one. Depends on the line to the actual buffet. How about I go pay for all of us and you guys can just grab your food? I'll come with you. I'll grab plates for the two of you. I think I have an idea about what you prefer. You and Nick make your way to the line for the register. Looks like you're going to have to finish eating quickly, or ask for a box to bring your food with you. You'll be here for a while. I've been wanting to ask since I saw the email. Are you going to apply for the super secret job? I'm thinking about it, but it's a little sketchy so far. I'm the same. I'm curious, but I don't want to jump headfirst into the darkness without knowing what awaits me on the other side. It's you. I'm sure you could handle whatever they throw at you. Nick gives you a gentle smile. Nick is not one to give up easily. He's stubborn, in a good way. Thanks. You shouldn't sell yourself short either. Before you know it, the line is all but dispersed and you have arrived at the register. Nick pays for everyone and you return to the table where Dave has set up a plate for the two of you. Once you finish your meal, you take a look at the form Julia gave you earlier. With Dave looking over your shoulder, you start filling everything out. You give it a once-over and notice mostly standard questions. Age, previous work experience, gender. Seems to finish up with a short personality test. Better just finish it now rather than leave it for later. Can I just hit enter? A voice rings in your head. You don't have a name? I'll give you one. That was odd. The next few questions are fairly standard and you barely pay attention as you fill them out. Until... sexual preference? That doesn't seem like a normal question for a job application. That's a sexual harassment lawsuit waiting to happen. Are you going to answer that one? I should, shouldn't I? Worst case scenario, if I apply, it's something they'll find out later. And then I wouldn't just be a liar, I'd be a coward as well. You're not a coward. You can't help but smile as Dave encourages you. He just cares about people. You're fairly certain he doesn't even care about the meaning of what he just said. Sometimes it feels like the expression, "you wouldn't hurt a fly," was written specifically to describe him. Thanks, Dave. You write down your answer on the form and continue with the rest of the questions. They're fairly straightforward, and even the personality test doesn't seem to breach any real boundaries. All done. Ready to head back? Just one thing. Dave, come here, please. Dave walks over to Nick, who whispers something to him. Dave whispers something back to him, then walks back to you. Hey Alex, can we see your application real quick? Might as well. As you hand over the application, Dave takes it and brings it over to Nick. Nick quickly takes his pen and writes something down on the second page of your application. I'll give this to Julia together with mine. Would you hand me yours, Ed? Sure. Are you going to write something on mine as well? You don't need me to. I wonder what he means by that. The conversation shifts between different topics ranging from work to how your weekend was on the walk back to the office. Dave and Ed walk together, discussing the latest hockey game with Ed's favorite team, the Leaves. You fall in pace with Nick, who is walking a fair bit behind the pair. He takes a deep breath and turns to you with a contemplative look on his face. Hey Alex, you should apply for the secret job. You're way too good at what you do to be stuck here. Nick is usually not this blunt when it comes to feelings, even though you've had more than one deep conversation with him. More often than not, he's drunk when it happens. On top of that, he's probably your closest friend, so when he tells you something honest, it's worth considering. Your thoughts bring you back a few months in time. A few months earlier. You woke up early, though you have no desire to get out of bed. It had been sudden and without warning. A quick breakup. You never thought it'd affect you like this. It wasn't as much the breakup as much as the way it had happened. The sudden change, the sudden feeling of betrayal. Maybe I should just go back to sleep. I could go into hibernation. Wake up sometime next year. You grab your phone and check the time. 6:37 a.m. I should get out of bed if I want to make it to work. The draw of the pillow and the allure of forgetful sleep is strong, but you've put on a strong front the last few days. Today will not break you. You force yourself to a quick shower, comb your hair, and put on a clean set of clothes. A quick power bar, and you make your way out the door. You get on your bike and start the ride to work. Somehow it just feels so fucking cliche. The moment I'm alone, I struggle to hold back my tears. I always thought I was stronger than this. In retrospect, I had, foolishly, always put pride in the fact that I thought myself too strong to end up like this. You try to distract yourself by focusing on the bike ride to your office. There are birds chirping and there's fresh air. Traffic is light and everything is set for you to be in a good mood. Instead, all you can think of is that the sun is too bright, the air is too filled with the smell of gas from the cars passing by. You eventually arrive at the office and stay to gather your thoughts for a few seconds before entering the building. Just as you're about to enter, Nick arrives. His bus must have just arrived. Nick holds the door for you. Morning, Nick. How are you doing? Irregular, depressed and with a solid lack of will to get out of bed. A few weeks ago, you would probably have laughed at his answer, perfected with practiced comical timing. Now it struck you differently. You tilt your head a little and give him another look, choosing your next words carefully. Right there with you. A neutral answer that still hints at something. I can't shake the feeling of being pathetic right now. I'm supposed to be different. Or am I really? You let out a sigh, unable to suppress it. Enough heavy thoughts for now. I have better things to do. Nick gives you a smile as you make your way inside. Gentlemen first. Friday, later that week. That was delicious. I should have the same thing next time we're here as well. You lean back. It's been a quiet day, and you have a few minutes to rest before heading back to the office. Are you going to join us for lunch next week as well, Alex? You can't say you've disliked joining them for lunch this week. They've been inviting you every day, and you're liking your colleagues more and more. It's a good distraction. Sounds like fun. I don't have the energy to cook this week anyway. Work has been piling up. It's a lie, but for some reason I feel like I have to make an excuse to join. It's like I'm covering up the reason I did not join them sooner. Hey Alex, I'm having a little party at my house tonight if you want to come. It's just a few friends. You know all of us. I don't think I'll be able to make it, but you should join them. Saying no would be easy. The idea of just going to bed until next year seems pretty good. But then again, I got no plans and nothing to lose. Worst case, I just leave. What do I need to bring? Enough alcohol for you to drink in order to pass out on my couch. I can't help but think he has some ulterior motive with that statement. Once again, what do I have to lose by going? It could be fun. What time? People will probably start showing up about right after work. We could stop by the liquor store, then pick up something to eat and head to my place together if you like. That sounds good. Maybe you can help me pick out what drinks to buy. I haven't really been partying lately. Okay, let's do it. Later that evening. It's almost 4 a.m. Everyone else has gone home. Yet, Nick still seems intent in getting you drunk as can be. The alcohol has had a definite effect on you. That, and the feeling that you have nothing to lose, loosens your filter. Thanks for inviting me, Nick. I needed a break. I can imagine. You're the quiet type. Besides, Julia pretty much outed you last week. Did nobody tell you about that? Nick bursts out into laughter. Sorry, but that's hilarious. She told us last week when you were gone for 2 days. Basically, she told us it was an emergency with your boyfriend. I guess it didn't cross her mind that you hadn't told anyone. Yeah, I guess that's how I put it when I told her. Somehow you suddenly struggle to hold back your tears. It's like simply telling someone about the recent weeks sets you off. You don't want to break down in front of anyone. Actually, you don't want to break down at all. So what happened, if you don't mind me asking, that is? Silence falls for a minute as you consider if you should tell him or not. But then again, this evening has had one solid theme that has led you to this point. Drunk at Nick's house. Nothing to lose, is there? Jim called me and told me he'd been in a car crash. I took a flight to go see him, as he lives a few towns away. Turns out the car crash was minor. He was fine. He wanted me to come see him so he could break up with me in person. Oh, I'm sorry. It's rough. With a pained expression on your face, you continue. If there ever is a moment to let it all out, it's now. I was fine. It hurt, but what hurt me the most was finding out he'd been dating someone else for the last 6 months. You feel a tear falling down your cheek, but that's also it. You keep your composure. You continue telling Nick everything. How Jim had been unfaithful throughout the entire relationship. You let him know about your travels and more of your story. Worst part is that I don't even blame him. I should have picked up on the signs, really. I really did feel like a placeholder for him. I should have trusted those feelings earlier. Fuck, I'm pathetic. You're not pathetic. You're allowed to be sad or angry or disappointed, frustrated, that feeling when something is wrong and you just can't feel it, any feeling. But you're not pathetic. You're hurt. If anything, you're amazing. Don't be so hard on yourself, Alex. When I broke up with Rebecca, I was a mess for probably a year. Most of the time, I still am. You did not expect this response, and you did not expect what followed either. You and Nick talked for over an hour, Nick telling the story of how his ex, whom he had been with since school, all of a sudden had left him with nothing but the words, "I'm not really sure about our relationship." Ouch. You could relate to what he felt. Eventually, as it started getting brighter outside, the subject shifted. You were sobering up, but Nick was not showing any signs of sobering. You know, I had no idea you were gay. There it was, blunt, honest. At least he doesn't hate me. Would you tell me more about yourself? I'm interested in people. Things like sexuality fascinate me, but it's not something you can just ask anyone. At the moment, I feel like I have nothing to lose. Ask away. Nick suddenly leans in towards you and kisses you passionately. He has his hands on your face, softly guiding you into the kiss. That's unexpected. Sorry. That was over the line. I don't mind. Nick bursts out into laughter, and without warning, he's suddenly asleep. He must have drank too much. You grab the blanket laying next to him on the couch and pull it over him. You put a pillow under his head so he rests comfortably while discreetly grabbing your things and as you leave his apartment. As you step into the quiet morning sunlight, you can't help but think, "That was nice. Honest. Life needs more honesty. And what if..." Over the next couple of weeks, you spend more time with Nick, Dave, and eventually Ed and Sam. Even Julie and her boyfriend hang out with the group. You open up slowly to your friends, and things are easier to handle. Nick also seems happier after your talk. He must have needed it as much as you did. Back to the present. I mean it. You should apply. You're too good to be stuck here, and your ex isn't going to hold you back anymore. You think for a second that you might have opened up too much to Nick in the last few months. But no, he definitely has my best interest in mind. I'm pretty comfortable where I am, though. I can play TFT for most of the day. Besides, I don't think Ed is going to apply. He wants to go back to school, and Julia just gave me a raise. That leaves you. Nick is also too good for his current job. That's a fact. Actually, we should encourage him to apply. He's an epic dude. You know, everything you just said is as easily applied to yourself. You should apply, Nick. Nick gives you a soft smile. Look, he looks like he's considering something deeply. You're right. I'll apply. But that means you also have to apply, Alex. You can't turn my own words back at me and not expect the same treatment. You make your way back to the office, and Nick hands Julia the application forms. Let me know by tomorrow if you're going to apply, please. An email is fine. I've done as much digging as I can, and it's an amazing opportunity. Besides, we need Team Jules rules to win. Win what exactly? The honor of winning, of course. You shake your head with a smile. Always the enthusiast. As you take your seat, you notice something different about the room. Pick up all these Halloween decorations over lunch, Julia? Must have been a short meeting. Isn't it great? Julia tends to go hard when she gets something on her mind. You wonder what Christmas will be like. Rest of the day continues as usual. Your thoughts drift to Nick in the past few months. What would changing jobs mean for you? Would you be able to keep the friendships you've built in the last few months? Loving someone again would be nice. Just like the dream this morning. Once again, it is Ed that wakes you up from your daydream. You alright? Ed had clearly tried saying something to you while you were spacing out. Sorry, just lost in thought. No worries. Are you taking the bus home today? Looking out the window, it started snowing again. No point in walking home in the snow today. I'll walk with you to the bus stop. You look at the time and notice your shift ended a few minutes ago. It's been a weird day. Usually not this distracted. The two of you grab your coats and leave the office together. The evening air is crisp and cold. The sun is already set and the feeling of winter is setting in. Are you really not going to apply for the job? I'm going back to school in a few months. It'd be a waste of time in all honesty. Your bus arrives just as you get to the bus stop. See you tomorrow, Ed. Take care, Alex. Quite the day. First that dream, and then the news of this job. It seems to have everyone excited and on edge at the same time. Things are definitely going to move, regardless if any of us get the job. It shows everyone that people are willing to move forward. It's a breath of fresh air for sure. I wonder if Nick and Ed are going to apply. It's definitely an opportunity. Are you going to apply? You promised to let Julia know. You should send her a message on your phone. Well, I mean, I feel like we kind of have to. If you don't take any chances, there's no moving forward. You send your boss a text message letting her know. Hey, Jules, just wanted to let you know I'd like you to send in my application for the recruitment. Alex. A few seconds later, you receive a text message from Julia. That's great! I'll send in your application first thing tomorrow. I'm so excited. Enthusiastic as always. Well, that's done. You start some music on your phone, and the rest of the bus ride home is comfortable and relaxing. The rest of your evening passes by fast. You make some food and play some games on your computer. Before long, you're laying in bed, ready to go to sleep. Today was fun. Hope I have another pleasant dream, like last night. You can feel the warmth from the air around your shoulders. A pleasant feeling of a touch on your arm. I feel like I've seen you 1,000 times, and every time I see you, I fall in love again. You're familiar, even though I do not know you yet. It's like the feeling of home. You feel the same. You can't explain it, but the familiarity is there. Still, somehow you know you're dreaming. Looking up into a sea of stars, your worries are all forgotten. No sadness, no loneliness, no sense of dread or feeling lost. You need to pursue a purpose you're unsure of. Come here. Suddenly, you're definitely being hugged. You can't see by who or how, but the feeling is there. Warmth. Safety. Again? God. Up an hour early again. Might as well get up and get ready for the day. You check your phone for the text message you just received. Good morning, Alex. I hope I didn't wake you up too early. I sent in your application last night, and I got an answer this morning. Interesting. They want you for an interview. They want to fly you to Boardtown today. At lunch even. I'm so excited. You don't need to come in this morning if you don't have the time. Pack your things. I'm already booking a hotel for you. Thanks, Julia. I'll be in as soon as I'm packed. Team Jules Rules is going to win. You can't help but smile. This is getting interesting. I do have an extra hour. Might as well start packing. You finish packing for the trip, enough clothes to last you a few days, even though you should only be gone for one night. Better safe than sorry. This is going to be an interesting day. You make yourself breakfast and get ready for your day. A full breakfast again, not just a granola bar. The bus should be at the stop just outside in a few minutes. You let a yawn escape you as you take a seat on the bus. You need to get your sleep schedule on track. Waking up an hour early every day isn't doing you any favors in that department. You're the first to arrive at the office today. Not even Julia is here. You must have been earlier than you thought. You hear someone enter the room. It's Julia. Good morning, Alex. Congratulations on making the interview. I'm so excited. I booked the taxi for you and Nick while I was on my way here. It should be here just before lunchtime to take you to the airport. Oh, Nick also made the interview? That's great. You can't help but feel excited. The chances of one of you landing this job, it's starting to feel realistic. Team Jules Rules has it going. The day goes fast. Everyone's excited for you and Nick. The news has spread far. Before you know it, the taxi is outside and you're getting ready to leave. Dave, Ed, Sam, and Julia all wish you good luck as you leave. With how they're acting all excited, it almost feels like we've already gotten to the job. Or like we're going on an epic adventure to deliver the one ring to Mount Doom. With some luck, it'll be both. The way everyone has been acting has definitely increased your excitement. You're excited to see what happens, and where this takes you. At the very least, you'll get to know more about this super secret job. It's been a while since you felt like this kind of excitement over something. It's a good thing. It's a good feeling. You somehow keep your hopes in check. There's nothing worse than getting excited just to be let down. The taller the hopes, the longer the fall. The rest of the car ride proceeds in silence. Before long, you arrive at the airport. The airport is quiet, and there's not a lot of people around. You find a seat in a secluded area where you can wait for the plane in peace. Alex speaking. Hi. Hi, Julia. We've been gone for 20 minutes, and you're calling already? I can't help it. I'm so excited. I really called to let you know I sent you an email with all the stuff needed for the hotel. Oh, I almost forgot about that. Thanks, Julia. You're the best. Make sure Team Jules Rules wins now. What am I saying? Of course we'll win. You hear them starting to call for the boarding for your flight. Looks like we're boarding. I'll text you from Broadtown. Bye. Have a nice flight. Before long, you've taken your seat in the plane and you're on your way to Broadtown. Nick takes his seat next to you. It's been a while since I've been on a plane. It just doubles how nervous I'm feeling. He does look a little stressed. Not very like him. You okay? I'm alright. I'll probably try to sleep a bit as soon as we're in the air. A nap seems like a good idea. Maybe I'll try to get some sleep on the plane. You close your eyes. Oh my god, why does it keep doing this? Chapter 1. Distant Thoughts. This was a very short stream. But this is quite literally the perfect place to leave off tonight. So I guess Nick and Alex are going to the job interview. That's epic. Sorry for, like, all the, skipped frames and whatnot. I'll, like, have to edit in little warnings to that in the, video. I'll try and find a way to decrease animations even further in the code of the game. Because while they're fancy, they also, like, heavily increase CPU usage. And yeah. So, anyways, stay safe, have a good night,